cinéfilos!
Hola, yo soy Mary.
Y yo soy Yvette y somos de Videofilia,
El día de hoy estaremos entrevistando a los realizadores Igor Polikarpov y Jantzen Denis.
las mentes detrás del proyecto The Porter o El Porteador.
So, hi guys. Thank you for joining us today. We're really excited to have this opportunity to learn and share about your ambitious project. So, Yvette.
We have some questions to know more about your short film. So we're going to start.
Mhm.
The Porter is a story that presents a classic theme that is man against nature. And this topic is really
Mhm.
common in filmmaking and film history. But in which aspect do you think this project can be new for the public?
Can be new for the public. Well, first of all, it's where it takes place. I think it's the setting, yeah, which is the Peruvian Andes, which I think wasn't really explored too much, yeah, in the world of film. I mean, it did and it did not at the same time, yeah. So when we went to Peru for our first filming expedition, yeah, we felt like we're entering a very let's say uncertain zone. Yeah, there were some filmmakers and some great filmmakers like Werner Herzog who did their films out there, but still we felt like we are entering a new zone in terms of atmosphere, aesthetics, and for me largely the culture. Yeah, the culture of Peru, which I found very exciting to explore within the medium of film. So I think first of all, how can it be new is by introducing the culture of Peru, the mythology of Peru, yeah, the history to some extent, and of course the atmosphere and the beauty, yeah, of this country. And then if we're gonna talk about this classical themes, of course it's very hard to call them new, but also can we call them old? I don't think so, yeah, because they're relevant all the time. So these are the ongoing themes, the ongoing struggles, yeah. But here I think what we should really put emphasis on is that we're also exploring the social aspect of these themes, which is the struggle of the porters, yeah. Uh, so this is largely, I think, what we have to offer. Yeah, if we're gonna talk in this kind of language, what we can offer to the audience and to the general public, that would be our new, yeah, what we can offer to them.
And of course, there's an authentic approach within all this concept for us. Yes, it's indeed a theme that is recurrent in many other creations, yeah, other pieces. But there is an authentic and very interesting part, which I hope that we will eventually start talking how this whole production ended up co-creating, yeah, the result of this exploration. So indeed, there's a lot of innovative sides that we have with this theme, but mostly important, we can say that it's a presentation, yeah, of a new approach within our narrative.
Of course. Yeah, as every, I think, just to wrap it up, as every artist, there could be a multitude of themes which were, throughout the history, like we can say about the Homer's Odyssey, yeah, how many films we know that follow the same, let's say, structure. But as long as we leave, there will be new voices, new emerging voices taking their own perspective, their own exploration of this classical, recurring themes. Yeah.
That's an excellent point, actually, because at this point we can see at the in filmmaking here in history, we're talking about more how is life in the Andes and how to give another perspective about our culture. I think that's great. It's a really amazing time to share this story.
Yeah, we think so too.
Indeed.
Of course.
Indeed.
Yes, and I think filming in the Andes must have been exciting but challenging. So, you guys, I don't know, how did this proposal to set the story in Peruvian mountains come about, and what were the challenges during the filming?
That's a good question. Yeah. I mean, here I guess we'll have to throw back almost 2 years. Well, how many? year and a half at least.
Yeah.
Year and a half
At least, yeah.
that we know each other with Denis. So
Mhm.
eventually we met in the acting academy here in Los Angeles, where Denis started his studies and where I decided to join for a short course just to get a perspective of the other side of the camera. Yeah, so the acting perspective on the craft, and that's where we met each other, and that's where we eventually started to, through our friendship, to explore our
Mhm.
cultures. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and that's where basically I learned about Peru. Yeah, I learned about Peru, and
And I learned a lot about Russian.
as well. Yeah, we really had this, I think, tremendous cultural exchange, and
Mhm.
that took us to making a plan to travel to Peru. Yeah, including the Andes. Yeah, we wanted to go around the country,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, it didn't work out for Denis, but it worked out for me. Yeah, so I went to Peru by myself. And that's when I did a 4-day trek through the Andes Mountains, visiting Apusalcantay and then ending my trip on Machu Picchu. So that was I think, igniting part, the initial part,
Mhm.
where, of course, on my way, I met a lot of Peruvian porters, encountered a lot of real stories, yeah, of these people, local guides, the porters, and just regular Peruvian people, throughout the whole country, where I really felt there are a lot of stories to share, and the story eventually emerged almost by itself, by its nature. The story of the porter. First of all, it took a form of a short prosaic piece. So I wrote a short story, basically, a 4-page short story, and we workshopped it here in Los Angeles. And some people told me that it might be a film. Yeah, there are all the elements of it. Being a film, you have the two characters, you have the amazing setting, and a way to explore foreign culture. Yeah. And then I presented this short story to Denis, and long story short, it turned into a screenplay, and a screenplay turned into a film. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we ended up in the Andes, I guess.
Yeah, within many video calls from the word go, with over there Cristóbal Casafranca and Marco
Marco
Zamora.
Zamora, yeah.
Which, thanks to Aria Filmica introduced us to basically the Peruvian industry, yeah, which I personally had some experience as an actor before, but indeed as a producer and as a co-production, it was a completely new.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Catholic University. A lot of
indeed.
people from Catholic University hopped on, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was a long journey, but the eventual goal was, to be in the mountains, yeah, and to make it there, and we ended up there, making it. So that was the journey. That was the journey.
Mhm. The main challenges that we, went through were indeed, of course, the barrier language, because
To some extent, yeah.
up to a moment there was 4 languages at the same time. You remember?
4 languages, yeah.
We have, of course, Russian direction, also with photography as Valia Piscon.
Valentin Piscon is my cinematographer who flew in from Russia to make this film with us in Peru.
So we have Russian, then you have the English translation of what we need to see or how to approach it better. Then you have the Spanish dialogue, and then up to extent, especially with the Amiel and the population in this area,
Native people, yeah.
Suddenly we have
Quechua,
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, there were very interesting moments. So besides that, I wouldn't say there were, challenges that torn us apart, but actually make us a more solid crew. Yeah, they provide us with this trust that we ended up building and co-creating something that was beyond what we were expecting, actually. Yeah.
And important to say, I think, is that eventually, like, these challenges, the obvious challenges of shooting the film in the mountains, like the altitude, the sun, the language barrier to some extent, working in the international crew, they become something that you really start to value, because that's what makes this experiences unique. That's what makes them memorable, and that's what eventually infuses your film with I can say a sort of authenticity, because this is where your character live, and this is where your story takes place, and this is what you are experiencing as a filmmaker. So I think it really opens a sort of a connection and the dialogue within the space, your characters, and the environment in which you're shooting your film that makes it very, very true and authentic, I think. Yeah.
Wow, guys, there was a lot of
Yes.
cultural exchange, right? From
Indeed.
both Peru and Russia. Very interesting, guys. I think it's also important to share much of who one is and their culture and show it to the world in such a beautiful way as a short film. So that's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That was a cultural exchange. Yeah.
Capital
For sure.
letters.
In
Yeah.
capital letters. Yeah. And
And
I think that's, yeah, please.
it's actually really nice that everything started with this friendship, and this cultural exchange is really beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we, I think, really, really value. And, it's our friendship that took us into building many, many more friendships, across our craft. And also, I mean, there are so many people who helped us. Almost 50
50
people,
people right
the
now.
entire crew. Yeah. With all the like anthropologists, mountaineers, yeah, everybody who consulted us, people from very different industries and professions, doctors. Yeah, we had to talk with doctors even to figure out, safety of our actors and
also structure the
crew.
script at one
Yeah,
point.
and at one point we had to consult about what our characters are going through within the story. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Exactly
That's
how this could be the more real, the more realistic situation, so people
Mhm,
can
mhm.
feel
Yeah,
more connected with the story.
absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, our next question it is, what was the process for the construction of this world in which there is like a constant crossing between the intangible world where there's gods and the person of the nature and humans? So was this aspect considered from the beginning of this project, or this come later with the pass of the time?
Mhm. I think it came out very naturally through the process. Yeah, through the process, because as I mentioned, the initial part was my trip. Yeah, my trip to Peru, and of course our friendship, where I think we learned together. I can say Denis as a Peruvian also had a chance to really re-explore his culture, and I as a foreigner, yeah, got to learn about Peru. So as we were writing the story, yeah, I was writing the short story, then transitioning into a screenplay. Of course, we were exploring different cultural aspects within the Peruvian history and literature. And of course, as we mentioned, collaborating with a lot of different people from different professions. Yeah, like for example, we had an anthropologist, Alexandra Huerta, from Pacific Catholic University, who consulted us a lot on some of the elements of the story, like if I can highlight a little bit the Incan trilogy. This is something that really plays an important part within our film. So of course we really had to keep a close eye on all these elements, and as the story progressed, as the screenplay progressed, we were studying all these elements, learning them by introducing them in the story, and then eventually, of course, this took its final form where we were already in the mountains, and we actually even had a chance to I think to some extent, I don't want to go into some mystical elements, yeah, but I think when you are there, you really start feeling the presence of these elements. You really start to feel their importance within the culture of these people who live there, yeah, and how it really starts to infuse your story, as you already see yourself making a film out there in the mountains. So I think it was a very natural process, a very natural transition from, first of all, just exploring exploring by learning, and then exploring by actually encountering these elements in the reality. Yeah.
Yes, it's really interesting because you can tell a story like this with this kind of characters and in this place without mentioning all this relationship that this group people have with nature, with their gods, and that's the really important part of it. And it's really interesting actually how you mentioned that this is like the most interesting part, and then this new way to tell a story, this classic story, or this new topic, or this old topic.
Yeah, vice versa. Exactly, of course, and really I think I have to put an emphasis on it, because really learning about these elements was a very exciting part of this journey, learning all the cultural aspects of people living in the Andes, of their mythology, of their religion, and how again Christianity crosses its paths with the Incan and even pre-Incan
as well
elements. So that was really an exciting part of this journey, and this is something that we're really looking forward to share through our film, through our story with the public and with our future viewers, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, you worked with important people. Of course, we know the Professor Huerta in anthropology. So it's important that there was a great research, of course. And we want to know what was the biggest lesson you've gained with this project?
Biggest lesson.
Sí.
You wanna share? What's the biggest lesson, Dennis?
well it's indeed a question that has always very intimate answers, right? And I think it's always unique in the sense that everyone has an own experience. I mentioned before that we begin in an acting very warm intimacy, by my side. That's where I met Igor studying acting, And experiencing acting, being in a stage, is a totally different concept than having the perspective of a producer. Being an actual producer, you can, as we were discussing before, understand how the actual clock
works, how the mechanism
Exactly.
works. Yeah.
And you ended up figuring out that, it might sound logical, but in an 8-hour shooting day with 10 people, you don't have 8 hours of shooting. You have 80 hours of people working for the same purpose, applying all their knowledge, all their whole will, and of course the creative process at the same time. So in this sense, personally, I can talk, and I know in this there's a level of resonance for you, that one of the biggest lessons is this gratitude for the co-creation, for all the power indeed that projects like this emerge, totally aside of the fact that it's cinema. Just the fact to actually be working for a whole purpose together, in a
For common cause.
for a common cause, and not only for, in our case, a performance, but an actual production, which they took more than half a year. It really made myself develop this sense of gratitude, which is already beyond my understanding. It's already, of course, it leads into what's loyalty, what's trust, what's the real and true value of what we create.
Dennis is going further and further.
I
but
can
I
go
think,
further.
The lesson, if to put it straight away, I think, as Dennis said, it's really learning how to collaborate, how to trust each other, and how to really share this passion, and as Dennis said, making it a collaborative and uniting process. So it wouldn't be like, let's say, just some people are recording sound. We are working here behind the camera, and actors are doing their own stuff, but actually, we're all working together, making this film, because it's like, we really like to say that doing this project for us is an ascent, like a climb in the mountains. And in the mountains, you cannot be separate from each other. We're all tied by one rope, so we all depend on each other. but we can only climb to the top together. So this is the only way we can do it. So I think largely it's about building trust and making this whole process a big collaboration that would eventually bring us, you know, to the summit, to the top. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely it was a process and work filled with co-creation and all the people needed to make a film, a short, or any audiovisual project. It's a great teamwork effort. So how wonderful that gratitude is something that we'll take away from this incredible journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like you mentioned before, this was a process. So you have to understand the pre-production, production, and the post-production. So, and after that comes the distribution. So how do you plan to distribute the portrait to the public and have like the greatest reach?
I think the initial beginning, of course, for every film, as we know, is the festival run. Yeah. So as we're planning to finish the post-production in the close months, in the next few months, after this we'll begin the festival run, which will be leading us towards next year already. Yeah. So March next year is the time when we're actually planned to share the film with the public, with the wide public. Yeah. And if we're gonna talk specifically about distribution, yeah, like distribution, because festivals is one thing and distribution is another thing. We have some ideas, I think, that Denis could share more precisely as the producer of the film.
Yeah, indeed. By understanding that the group is such wide and have such connections within already now more than 5 countries, we have already mapped out some interesting rooms for us to, of course, create events or basically platforms that will allow us to share it. In this regards, of course, we will do events where we will screen the film, that we will love to have Q&As, that we will present it. But ultimately, as we express in the Kickstarter campaign, yeah, our goal is to show back, give back, better say, all this trust, all this effort, and make the film publicly available. Yeah,
publicly available. And here, as Denis highlighted, that we have an idea, as this project has this big kind of cultural aspect to it. Yeah. Cross-cultural, multicultural. Yeah. Where we have so many people working across different geographies and countries, is to actually make this project a platform, a sort of a platform that would make new connections within also our countries. Like we had a chance to connect with Prom Peru, with representatives of Prom Peru in Russia as well. And again, like in Russia, there are a lot of platforms where you would see Peruvian young people who study in the university in Moscow, in the international university. So within all these platforms, we really want to share this project, and by sharing it, again, create a sort of a, let's say, a point of connection. Yeah. A point of connection across geographies, which would build, again, new bridges, as it happened for us working on this project. Yeah. So we have people from more than 5 different countries, and we truly believe that the porter can go further with it, you know, by having screenings in Russia, in Peru, you know, in Europe, like public screenings, not within the festivals, yeah, but actual public screenings where we could talk maybe with students of different universities, or with, again, maybe some mountaineering societies, because I think there are really a lot of endless opportunities, not just a lot, but really endless opportunities. How far can we go with this project? And as still there is, let's say, almost a year ahead of us, we're still in the process of making these plans, but we really have a lot of good hope, yeah, and optimistic vision for the future of the Porter as a cultural project and as a bridge that would connect our countries, and luckily, hopefully, many more. Yeah.
Yes, definitely sounds really promising. Actually, have this so many people from different cultures, different perspectives help you to know more, that the porter can be known from a lot of different countries and people. That's really amazing, actually.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I didn't mention it before, but I live part of my life in the Peruvian highlands, so I know a lot about this type of locations,
Mhm.
and and it always excites me when a door like this opens up to the public and to the world. And in this sense, to share a little more about this, do you plan to organize any exclusive events to publicize this short film before its premiere?
Exclusive events to publicize the film.
Yeah, in this regards, we're already connecting with all region, specifically Cusco, yeah, not only with universities, but also with independent film communities or clubs that are willing very much to invest in us. Actually, we might meet them soon, who knows, you know?
Clubs, newspapers, like again, you guys, I think that's already part of this journey, of publicizing the film and spreading the word about it. But as you mentioned that you're from the highlands, I think it also can be very exciting to actually somehow bring this film to this people, the people of the highlands and the people of the Andes. So really, really
Looking forward.
looking forward. Yeah,
Keep
looking forward.
dialogue with anyone that might be interested in keep, going with us to this ascent.
Because having the film publicly available is one story, but actually bringing the film physically to the public, and interacting with people who might see this film, like people who live in Cusco, or Lima and further. That'll be of course our ultimate goal in terms of spreading the word and publicizing this film and the idea behind it. Yeah, because I think as we mentioned, it's not only the film, and there's a very a lot of layers behind that we really look forward to share with people in terms of culture, in terms of cultural connection, history, mythology, because there is really a lot to talk about, we believe.
Yeah.
Sure, I love the idea of sharing more about that. So thank you for that.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, the more people that know this story, the better, the best, definitely. It's really great. Actually, there are a lot of cities here in Peru that don't have the access to see more films, and that's really important for Marian specifically to know that this part is this part is important for us actually to be more the story to be known.
Completely. And I think it's also a very accessible medium, like short films, medium length films, yeah. Because like let's say organizing a screening of a feature film is one story, but maybe again we see a lot of room for collaboration with local Peruvian artists, that there could be a compilation of short films, yeah, that eventually would be brought, to the Andes or to Cusco, where it could be screened. So I think it's a very accessible medium, yeah, short films, and again, a very accessible form of publicizing, sharing, spreading the word. Yeah, indeed.
That's amazing. And our last question is, music. It's a really important element in the short film, and you choose to work with Manolo Mujica for the score. So how his music contribute to elevate the experience of the porter for the audience?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So with Manongo, yeah, this encounter, it was really, let's say, a turning point in terms of how we think about our film and about the music of our film. And we have to put an emphasis here that our relationship with Manongo is still something that we're exploring the possibilities. So we're looking forward to meeting him soon in Peru, where we're gonna see the film together and see how we finally cross our paths in terms of vision. Yeah. sonic vision, let's say, let's better say. So, but really, encountering with Manonga's work was a turning point in terms of, the Manonga's quality of Manonga's work. It's mostly about ambient sounds, ambient sounds and storytelling through sound. And the way we picture sound in our film is pretty much it, because Andes, I mean, any natural environment, it's so bright in terms of what you can hear and how you can listen to the spaces, to these environments, and what they can tell you through sound. So we really see a lot of space here in terms of merging together Manonga's approach to music, to the ambient landscapes, creating ambient landscapes, and to the way our story works with these landscapes, in the Andes. I think here we really see a solid point of connection that we want to explore further with Manongo.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think I can also say about it, from the two of us, we really admire Manongo's full discography. Like, I individually been hearing him for already a while. I am following for a while, and I can tell you that for us it's quite an honor to interact and to explore with him, and of course all of his vast experience and collaboratives, because he also worked with more musicians, very relevant musicians. How can we tell this story together?
Absolutely, tell the story together. I think that's the most important part of his connection with Manonga, is that Manonga is a big artist, and he has his approach, his vision, and it's a collaboration that we're really looking forward to. It's a collaboration because we truly believe that Manonga can bring a lot to the story, and let's say, not just put it on a different level, but really open a new layer that I think otherwise would be not just left out, but it would be different. It would be different, It would be different. It would be a different film. So we'll see where it takes us with Manonga. So as we said, we're making a plan of meeting him in person, as we're gonna be in Lima, watching the film together, and starting our artistic conversation of which direction we might take.
I think that everything that you mentioned from the beginning, from this point, I can see that there is like a connection of everything, with the idea, with the music, actually with the actors, and all the story is a full connection of everything. So the fact that you choose Manongo Mojica to work on this film, that he has a really amazing experience working on also producing and make the score from another short films, and he has like a special perspective of music. It connects perfectly with the idea of the short film. So we are really excited to see what will be the final result of this project.
And we're very excited to sharing it with you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Nice. Well, once again, thank you for sharing this time with us. We think this story have a great potential to impress the audience. So wish you the best with the post-production and the diffusion of the porter. So hope to see you again, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. We wish you the best.
Thank you. Likewise, Yvette, Mary, it's been a great pleasure to meet you, and hopefully we'll meet soon in person.
Who knows?
I hope so, yes.
We'll be in Peru. So, hasta luego then.
Muchas gracias.
Bye. Tenga un buen
Bye
día.
bye.
Chao.